crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know.
Okay guys, today we are going to look at multiplying decimals and whole numbers. We are going to look at using this hundreds cube to help us do that. So first, let's go over to our first box, and it says using a model we can easily represent. And in the box here, let's write multiplication. So today we're going to use this hundreds cube to represent hundredths. So over here, I'm just going to write that down real quick. I'm just going to write down 1/100th, and you can do that too. And over here, I'm going to color in one of the squares. Okay, so instead of this representing 1, we are representing 1/100th with each of those little cubes. So the first thing we'll do is we'll look at this box, and this one has a problem for us, and it says what is the product of 4 and 17/100ths? Use a model to solve. So instead of using the standard algorithm, we are going to just use the model. And so I have the steps for you. Every problem where you use a model, you will use these same steps. So first, we want to find the decimal in our story problem. So we go up here. The decimal is right here, 17/100ths, and so let's just write that down. So our decimal is 17/100ths, and it says, and color that many, and we're going to write down hundredth squares. So I go over here to my box here, and I'm going to color in 17 squares. So I'll grab a color, and I know that one whole column is 10. So there's 10, and I need to do 17. So I'll leave 3 left over. So I just colored 17. So that was my second step. So let's go to that second step, and it says now color that same amount. And if you look at our problem, we're going to color that same amount 4 times. That's our whole number. So let's write that down. We're going to color that same amount 4 times. So we have 4 times 17/100ths. So we find the decimal, and that's what we're coloring in. So let's do that 4 times. So I'll get a different color, and I will do it again. So I know that, see, I've got 3 left over, and then I have 10 here. So that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's my second time. Let's do it again. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this whole row will give me 16. You should be coloring yours. And there's 17. And for the 4th time, I'll do it one more time. And it looks like I've got 9 here. And then I'll color in 8 to make 17. Okay, I'll label those. See, so that's my first time, my second time, third time, and 4th time. And I used a different color so I wouldn't get mixed up. Okay. So my last step is we are going to count the total squares. So just a recap real quick. We had our decimal 0.17 and we colored that 4 times. Okay, because the product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So this was a multiplication problem. So this is pretty easy to count. I can skip count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and looks like 68. So my answer, put that on the bottom, equals 0.68 because 68 squares were colored in. So I just did the multiplication problem 4 times 0.17. Let's flip over to the next page. And we're just going to do this one more time to make sure that we understand the steps. So we have our problem right here, which says, what is the product? Okay, remember, product means we're multiplying of, and we have our numbers 3 and 22 hundredths. So you ask yourself, okay, where's the decimal? And it's 22 hundredths. And we go to our hundredths squares. And it looks like we're going to color in 22 3 times. So I come over here, and I can do the first one. I'll do this a little bit quicker. So there's 1. My first one, there's 22. Then I'll get my other color. And I have 8 left over. There's 18. Okay, there's 22. And then I'll do it one more time. I have 6 left here. So that gives me 16. And then I'll color in 6 more to make 22. So right there, I did 22 3 times. And you can always check and go back and you'll count each square and make sure you colored 22 3 times. Now I'll just count those boxes, and it looks like we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then 6 boxes. So my answer is 0.66, which makes sense. If I multiplied 3 times 22 without looking at the decimal, I would get 66. And so my answer is 66 hundredths. So your job now is to look at the problem here at the bottom and to figure out how to color this in. You're going to use the same steps. You'll notice that I have 2 boxes here because with the numbers you are multiplying, you will need both boxes. You will be coloring in both of these boxes. If you have questions, come to class tomorrow and we'll work on it. See ya.